I don't know what our driver today has done to get the couple of rounds of matchmaking that we've witnessed here in the past couple of days, but man, I wish I would have his luck a lot of times because here we have Apollo Emilio Tier 9 Premium Italian Destroyer, the 60 knot torpedo delivery system, who's actually top tier. Now, he did get a double CV game, which isn't that great, and look at the lineup. He got one cruiser per side, and then the rest is battleships and two CVs, along with three DDs. This is just the absolute, just best case scenario for Apollo Emilio, besides the double CV thing being top tier. So today we have Andrew back again, who I used his footage for background footage in yesterday's video talking about the Monarch. He sent me this Apollo replay a little while ago, and I figured I would feature it on a Sunday edition of our live reaction replay videos. And it just happened to be this Sunday that I had the scheduled along with the Monarch video from yesterday, so you get 2 days of Andrew this week. But yeah, he's in the Apollo Emilio in a Tier 9 game, and it's mostly, as you can see, a Tier 8 and Tier 7 game. This, actually, it's a very Tier 8 and Tier 7 game. He's the only Tier 9. Man, how does this happen? This never happens to me. I don't think I've ever gotten top tier in Apollo like this. I mean, I've been in like Tier 9 games where it's mostly Tier 9s and a couple of Tier 8s with Apollo, but never where I'm the only Tier 9 and it's just basically a bunch of children that I'm surrounded by. So this should be pretty good because the Apollo Emilio, her whole shtick, if you haven't watched any of my streams, is that she is a Italian DD that can travel at 60 knots if you have brisk when you're undetected. Her smokescreen lasts just long enough for you to cover roughly 7.2 kilometers without being detected, thanks to her speed. And once you come out of those 7.2 kilometers of smoke, you are within 2 kilometers of your target. Then you can deliver to them your torpedoes that have essentially the same alpha as Shimakaze torpedoes, but only a 6 kilometer range. So this ship is geared to do one thing, and that is YOLO, as this Scharnhorst is about to find out. What's really funny is that you can tell how many players pay attention to the map with their eyes versus how many rely on that little detected icon. Goodbye, Scharnhorst. Death Strike and First Blood, and here comes a Carasilio. Because, like, yeah, you know, many of us are used to the system that this game uses, which is very similar to the system that Water Tanks uses, where when you detect that little exclamation point pops up by Carasilio, oh my god, that lets us know we're detected. But, like, in situations with the Apollo Emilio and other destroyers and cruisers that have smoke, they can still be right next to you, just undetected because they're in smoke. But if you aren't paying attention to that, then you don't know they are there. And it's always weird to me that players just don't notice the 60 knot smoke screen running at them, because you can turn around and, you know, kind of kill the Apollo's vibe. Because, you know, when you're sailing toward him and he's sailing toward you, he's going 60 knots and you're going 30 knots. The closing speed is something like 90 knots, right? So there's a very little... Oh my god, he found the Parzival too. Just like that. Oh boy. He has one rack of torpedoes left. His other racks are about to reload here in a second. But I like how the Parzival so far is doing the most damage to him with the secondaries versus the other ships. That's pretty funny. But yeah, so he's got 3 racks of torpedoes. So mathematically, you can YOLO 3 times per every, I think it's like minute and change that it takes for the torpedoes to reload. And this should be a dead Parzival here as well. Yeah, a minute and 40 something seconds. So, yeah, bye Parzival. 3 YOLOs back to back to back. 3 Dev Strikes. Oh my god. So, now that he's single-handedly obliterated this flank, yeah, the enemy team's chances of winning don't look too swell at this moment. Now, I think the most amount of ships, the highest amount of ships that I've YOLO'd in one Apollo Emilio game was like 4 or 5. Because, again, typically, you know, you have to wait for the engine boost to come off of cooldown. You have to wait for the smoke screen to come off of cooldown. You have to wait for your torpedoes to reload in, like, Tier 9 games. When, again, you are a Tier 9 ship in a Tier 7 and Tier 8 game, you kind of just run at them, as you see here. Because, again, you're, you know, 2 tiers above them, and you have the speed and the health advantage and the armaments advantage as well. And there's a Udaloy there that's seemingly trying to hunt down Andrew and his Apollo. But he's using this island to hide behind for now, while his engine boost comes off a cooldown. I suspect he's probably going to go for that Sharnos 43, I'd imagine, 11 kilometers away. Or he might just try to... Okay, he's going for the YOOOLLOOOOOO. Alright, this should be entertaining. The engine boost, there's the smoke generator up. And, yeah, not now the YOOOLLOOOOO can't see him. And the YOOOOLLOOOOOO he's turning out. That's the better move. Because, again, you want to eliminate that speed advantage that the Apollo does have. It looks like he's kind of switching over to the Sharnos 43 here. Honestly, he could just gun down the Sharnos 43 because the Apollo does have sap in her main battery guns. Dumps one set of torpedoes at the YOOOOOOO. All he has to do is nick him with like 1 or 2 torpedoes, and then that should be a dead YOOOOOO. But yeah, no, like the Apollo does have sap, and it can chunk you for about 5 to 6k per salvo if the sap shells hit the right spot, like, you know, your superstructure, your bow, your stern. Dumps one set of torpedoes at the Sharnos, but that's just on the edge of his range. That might not make it. Let's see what happens. Oh, he might just open up on him with his guns. Yeah, there you go. Gets one salvo out at the Sharnos 43. Shells land a little bit low, hit the deck. He really needs them to hit the superstructure in order to have them do their thing. But he might... you know, those are going to miss. YOOOOOOO is opening up on him now. Now, the thing with the Apollo is that the guns can provide a bit of punch, but the ship is still quite large, and the reload time for the guns is quite long. So, when you get in a DD versus DD gunfight, it's typically not an easy time when you compare it to like the Regala, which has a faster reload time on the same guns with the sap shells as well. So typically, you don't want to really be going after DDs in the Apollo unless you've really built into the main battery guns, which most Apollo players don't. They just build into the torpedoes because, again, it's the Apollo Emilio. Now, looks like he does have a Chickalov here, all by his lonesome, but he used his smoke screen and his engine boost earlier to try and engage that Scharnhorst and that Rook. So, ooh, Chickalov just donks on the Asasio, who detonates. That's the only ship the friendly team has lost so far. Okay, so it looks like he's probably just going to be running at the Chickalov now, without his engine boost and without his smoke screen. So, this should be interesting. Here comes the Chickalov bombers again. Now, the Apollo doesn't really have AA, so it doesn't really matter that Andrew has it turned off. It's the Italian AA. It's terrible. It's a 4-kilometer range. It doesn't even do that much damage. Alright, torpedoes out on the Chickalov. If those hit, that should be a dead Chickalov. And the Chickalov is flying his planes right now, so he doesn't have control of his ship. 1, 2. That's all he needed. So that is 4 YOLOs in one match. Can we go for 5? There's our York right there, so the answer might be yes. York is looking the entirely other way. I guess his attention with a salvo of sap. Kagero pops up. Alright, pops a smoke generator. He's just going to gun this fella down. Bonk. See, there you go. 3k. That was hitting the upper belt. If he can get to hit the superstructure or the bow, it probably would have been 5. But this should kill him here either way. And there's kill number 5 for Andrew. And a Kraken unleashed. Yeah, so quite the tear in Apollo so far, and the match isn't over just yet. Now, obviously this has been terribly one-sided. I mean, again, when you have Apollo Emilio literally destroy a flank in the first couple of minutes of the match, that does not bode well for how the match is going to go for your team, right? So, do we think he's going to get the Kagero, the YOOOOOOO here at the end? Or do we... I mean, the YOOOOOOO... the Kagero's right there. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, so he pops his engine boost. Does he have... Yeah, he's got 2 racks of torpedoes left. He's down to 6k health, though. The North Carolina tries the third part of the Kagero. Kagero... Ooh, what's he going to do? Is he going for the ram? I think he's going for the ram. Yeah, but there go the torpedoes. And boom. Kill number 6 for Andrew. And Dev Strike number 4. My God. Good Lord. 4 Dev Strikes, 6 kills. Now you gotta kill the YOOOOOOO, Andrew. You gotta get kill number 7 there. He has a rack of torpedoes left. He could do it. And the YOOOOOO is the open water gunboating now, too. He does only have 5k HP, though, so he's got to delay getting spotted as long as he can. And I mean, well, it's just a North Carolina... Okay, kill him. Go for it. Do it. Get 7 kills, Andrew. Might as well. You already killed half the enemy team. Might as well kill 50, not 50%. No, yeah, like 53. Oh my God, Lexington, brother, dodge some of the flak. I beg of you. Wow. All right, so the torpedo tubes he has up are on his left side. The Apollo has 2 wing-mounted torpedo launchers, and one that's centerline mounted, as you can see there in the back. Oh, he's popping the smoke. Just what Andrew needed. Andrew's smoke is down, but the Yolo provides him with his own smoke. Launches torps a little bit early there. The Yolo is probably going to get off of the island here. Or, yep, no, he made the turn. All right. Oh, so he's using this secret 4th torpedo rack that the Paulo Emilio has, known as the Paulo Emilio. It's 7 kills. Oh my God. Oh Lord. My God. 4 death strikes, 7 kills. What an absolute seal clubbing experience, ladies and gentlemen. So, 4 death strikes, you got Confederate, Kraken Unleashed, First Blood, and High Caliber. My God. How much base XP did you get? 2,200 base XP for 7 kills. Yeah, you know, when you're bullying tier 7 and tier 8 ships, the XP income isn't that nice. Now, if there's like a tier 9 game and he got 7 kills, this would probably be like 3,000, if not 4,000 base XP. But the game does take that into consideration when it's calculating your XP earnings. But yeah, my God, Andrew, what... Again, you just murdered a bunch of children here, sir. It was entertaining, don't get me wrong, but man, I wish again I could get some matchmaking like that from time to time in my Paulo Emilio. It would make it a lot funner. But anyway, thank you for sending that in, Andrew. That was definitely an entertaining replay. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about Andrew murdering a bunch of lower tier ships. I mean, just absolutely viciously. But I do appreciate that he used every single torpedo that the Paulo Emilio had there at the end. So if you guys enjoyed, have a wonderful weekend. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.